going to that, no? And you spoke earlier about values. Values and virtues. Where does it begin? It begins right there in the family, and then it's something that spreads out over the community when people and when families get together for one common cause, di ba?
Ito yung nakikita ko sa mga pag-uusap ko sa akin mga estudyante. 30 years ago, nangyari yung martial law, nangyari yung people power, but the kids don't know about it. And this was just 30 years ago. Ito nakita natin na problema. Ito palang mga magulang, no? They rarely talk to their children about the past. Yun yung problema natin. So that's a very good point that you raised. It must start with the family, no? Ipasyal mo sa park ang mga bata. Ikwento mo kung sino si Bonifacio. Ikwento mo kung sino si Rizal, no? And then siguro palalimin mo kung bakit itong taong ito na si Manny Pacquiao ay tinatawag na bayani. No? Bayani siya hindi dahil sa flashy cars and yung yaman niya. Bayani siya because nagbibigay siya ng karangalan. Yung karangalan ay isa ring ng bayani sa bayan natin. So yun yung tignan natin, yun yung yung ituro agad sa bata. No? Bago ba man pumasok ng eskwela?
You know, in the past, yung sinasabi mo kanina na si Rizal, it was not for the overall, na yung overall na kabutihan ang nagawa niya para sa bayan. Pero yung mga trivial issues against him that was raised. Now, looking at Manny Pacquiao, no? Now a living legend, the best pound for pound boxer in the world, and one of the 100 most influential people in the world. But he is not perfect, and I mean, can he stand as a symbol where young Filipinos should really emulate on a day-to-day basis, thinking that one day they can also be boxers and earn millions of dollars?
Yeah, he's one example, a good example of how a man who had risen from poverty to greatness. So it also brings to mind that Pacquiao, even as an adult, also wants to learn. So, can you imagine, ay, matanda na ako dyan, di na ako pwede pumasok sa eskwela. But here comes people like Manny Pacquiao entering a university and wishing to learn. That is what we should inculcate to our children. So, yung learning never stops.
Sino na kukulang doon? If our children don't want to learn? Yung mga magulang?
Una, siguro tingnan din natin yung aspect na yon. Tanungin mo ang sarili mo bilang magulang kung ikaw ba ay nagkukwento ng kasaysayan o parang at yung guro, yung estilo ng pagtuturo, yung mga libro natin, suriin natin, yung ginagamit na libro. Baka ito ay nagtuturo pa rin ng mga mali sa kasaysayan natin at napakarami ng mga ito, no? So yun yung natin. Suriin natin lahat, pati yung media na marami sa media, ang gusto lang nilang tignan, the trivialities, no? Babaero, away, ganon, na dapat tignan natin, no? Yung mas malalim na kahulugan ng kabayanihan, ng pagiging bansa, no? I think dun yung kay Manny Pacquiao, dun papasok hindi natin sinasabi na lahat tayo maging boksingero. Pero kung ikaw ay isang guro, yung maging pinakamagaling na guro ka. Kung ikaw ang isang doktor, pag ikaw ay isang doktor, wag kang manghuthot ng napakalaki sa iyong mga pasyente. Gawin mong pinakamamabuti kapag ikaw ay isang nurse, kapag ikaw ay isang janitor. Ito yung dapat nating ipakita. No, tumutulong tayo sa bansa because of being like this.
You know, what we see on media, read on broadsheets, tabloid, or even on television is all about the trivial matters, all the negatives. Are we missing out on the good which is our history and the present which we are trying to build for the future for this country?
Yung malaking na-accentuate yung negative. And sometimes naging superficial.
Nakakalungkot, no?
Halimbawa, tatayo ka ng monumento. You spend a lot of money building monuments, but you don't go to the message of that monument. The message is the principles of those heroes. By learning those heroes, you yourself will become a monument. So, buhay na monumento ka, na habang nabubuhay ka at ginagawa mo in-emulate mo yung mga taong yun, you're making those heroes immortal. And you become a monument to their memory. And you also honor them. Yan ang dapat gawin ng ating lipunan ngayon.
You know, we're a country that is so divided by 7,107 islands, 52 ethnic groups. We have been so divided for so long. What is that one glue that will bring us together and forget that we are divided by those islands and by our ethnicity?
Okay. Kasaysayan ay napakahalagang sangkap. Noong unang panahon, yung mga bayan sa Pilipinas, bago dumating ang Espanyol, kapag ka ang babaylan, sinabi niya yung epiko, dinicite niya yung epiko, chinant niya yung epiko, at nakikinig ang buong bayan, yung buong bayan na yun, nafe-feel nila, kahit hindi totoo yung malakas at maganda, kahit hindi totoo yung kwento nila maang, no? They feel na isa ang kanilang pinagmulan. There is one feeling na we're all in this together, we're going to go together, facing the storm, just like our heroes. Yun yung message ng mga epiko eh. Now, when we have a narrative na pinapakita na tayo ay nagkakaisa, sabi na watak-watak tayo, bakit pa tayo magpipilipinas? Imagine community naman tayo, number one. Number two, gustong humiwalay ng iba sa Mindanao, gustong humiwalay ng mga Bisaya. Pero ang makikita natin maganda dito, we came from one Austronesian heritage and culture. Pag atin itong pinakita, and then magsaysay tayo, yung history books natin, ako, sorry pero many of our history books, many of them are in a foreign language. So, gumawa rin tayo, hindi ko sinasabing wag tayo gumawa ng mga sulat sa Ingles. Gumawa tayo ng nasa wikang Filipino na madaling maintindihan ng mga tao, ipabasa ito sa mga tao, magkakaroon tayo ng feel na tayo ay nagkakaisang bansa kung alam natin lahat yung ating kasaysayan.
23 years after EDSA, after 20 years of the late President Marcos, what have we really learned as a people? Kung ano yung naging kakulangan natin noon na tinolerate natin siguro yung dictatorship at that time, no? And then here we are so free. Saan tayo nagkulang na yung mga problema natin noon, yun pa rin yung mga problema natin ngayon?
Meron siya, sabi tayo sa kasaysayan, yung lessons of history.
Yun nga.
Yung pag hindi mo mauulit na mauulit yan. At higit pa sa lahat, yung kung nangyayari ang mga kasamaan sa lipunan, kasi yung mga mabuting tao walang ginawa.
They just were blind.
So, either they were afraid or they're co-opted. So, medyo mahirap na, Kaya, we run the risk of repeating history. Kaya nga sinasabi rin ni Mabini noon, na alisin natin ang bisyo. Dahil ang bisyo ang makakasira sa ating bansa. So, magandang turo yan. It's very classic.
Okay, we'll continue with Convergence after we pause for this reminder. We'll be back.
Saan sulok ng langit kung ang kalangitan at
We're back with Convergence. Doctor, you cannot blame perhaps the students today or our younger people for not being interested about their history and projecting themselves to be, real heroes now.
Yes.
It goes back to how they are being taught history. So it could be the failure of the classroom.
Yeah, actually, history is not really a boring subject. It's the teachers that make it boring. So, by making the students memorize, rote memorization, and as if history is really dead. Actually, history is very alive. History is actually the root of all disciplines, nursing, architecture, all of them, even religion is based on history. So even their lives are based on history. So make it interesting and make the students analyze and criticize history, not just swallow what the teachers had told them. So in their way, they will have their own interpretation, their own perspective of history. And that's the goal of the historian. Every generation should have their own view of history.
No, people who seek public office, my concern is, are they in for it for the right reasons, which is for the public good and the people, and because of that, you can categorize them as patriots who may be able, who at any given time might just have to give up their lives.
Ito siguro yung magandang ituro sa mga bata. Tulad ng sinabi ni Dr. Deviana kanina, pag-aralan natin yung Cartilla. pag-aralan natin yung dekalogo ng katipunan ni Andres Bonifacio. And then, tingnan natin yung ating mga pinuno. Tingnan natin yung ating mga iboboto. Sila ba ay tumutugma? Hindi ko sinasabi maging perfecto. Walang perfecto sa atin eh. Pero at least ginagawa ba nila yung mga nakalagay doon sa doon sa kartilya at dekalogo. I think yun na yung pinaka-effective. Gawin nating may saysay, may relevance yung tinuturo natin. Na i-apply natin yung kartilya sa panahon ngayon because perpetual yung ganitong
Ang tanong dyan sino pa sa ating mga leader, our leaders, especially those seeking the presidency in 2010, even bothered to, read the Cartilla or, try to read something about what our heroes did in the past so they could really emulate them and see the sacrifice they are willing to give up for this
I think
country.
they have to read the lessons of history, read those writings.
Karamihan, hindi naman nagbabasa yan, diba?
And that's the criteria of true nationalism and patriotism. Ang problema lang, naboboto lang sila because of their popularity, because of their looks, because of
Yung
their
pera
money.
nila.
Ayun. So, yun ang pinakaano kasi kung yun, napakababaw na pundasyon para sa nationhood yun. At tingnan natin, they must be also conscious of their place in history. May sinabi si Bonifacio, magandang banggitin dito. Sabi niya, matakot ka sa kasaysayan dahil ang hatol nito ay walang patawad. So, you'll be judged by history. And those history books will chronicle all those deeds that done by our leaders.
Kung nagkulang tayo, paano natin babaguhin ang kasaysayan ng ating bansa, ng ating lahi sa 2010 para sa ating mga kababayan?
Lalo na sa kabataan. Na bumuboto
Because they're
ngayon.
saying that, they're saying that they will play a major role in 2010.
Ito yung sa akin. Kailangan ma-realize ng kabataan yung kanilang kapangyarihan. Yes, ang kasaysayan, kaya dapat natin itong pag-aralan kasi naapektuhan niya ang buhay natin. Pero tandaan natin na ang kasaysayan, tayo din ang nag-aapekto niyan. Let us believe in our capacity na nasa kamay natin to change history. And how do we do this? Bumoto tayo. Unang-una, bumoto tayo. Let's involve ourselves in causes. Kung global warming yan, kung pagpapaaral sa mga bata yan, ang daming mayaman sa mundo, sa Pilipinas ginagawa ito. At hindi nila nakikita na kabayanihan yung ginagawa nila. I think doon natin tignan yan. Kasi ito sir, yung magandang tignan natin. After EDSA, the Glorious Revolution of 1986, lahat ng magandang ugali natin lumabas. Pero kasi after that, laging yun na lang at yun ang ating solusyon. Kailangan, kasi ang kalaban, ang korupsyon, nagbabago, dapat tayo din magbago.
A final word from you, Doctor?
Balik tayo sa yung definition ng kasaysayan. Kasama kasaysayan. So, yung saysay is the narrative. Tapos, meron dong prefix na ka. Lagi kang kasama sa kasaysayan. We are part of history. And it's in our hands to form it. So, magandang lesson para sa atin yan. Kaya dapat conscious tayo sa kasaysayan.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Augusto Divian, Professor of UST, and historian, and Professor Michael Charles Sanchuva, Vice President of the Philippine Historical Commission. Well, tonight has been enlightening.
Thank you very much.
And I hope to have you again in the future para ang ating mga kababayan, lalo na yung mga kabataan, will learn a lot of lessons from history. Life is replete with stories on the greatness of what the human mind, body, and spirit can achieve. And we shall continuously be in search and in awe at those who are able to achieve feats beyond the ordinary. We are all at one time or the other confronted with the opportunity to greatness, from the ordinary daily travails to the levels of leadership and competition. The call for heroism is everywhere, and in every individual, we only have to claim it. This has been Convergence, and I'm Freddie Obando, thanking you all for having joined us. Good evening, and God bless. Good night.